What is an adventure? I ask myself while pushing through the clouds on a remote Portuguese mountain. Is it the view that opens up here above the clouds? Is it being in this different layer of the world at this moment in time? Alone on top of the world. Is it a smooth barren landscape all around? A strong wind gusts trying to get me off balance. Is it to look out over the glacier valley here in the Sahara? To ride these incredible roads on an early morning? Is it to get lost, to be free as the birds? Or this in a historical livery painted adventure bike, making me feel like Peter Jansel? Is it a phrase from the script of the movie The 25th Hour? Keep riding till you find. Is it to discover? Or is it just slowing down? Stepping up and sitting down, doing what you haven't done for a long time? I don't know. It's a difficult one. While I'm already feeling adventurous, riding a softer piste, there's my travel companion for who the adventure ride only starts when there's brap and jumps and slides. When there's dust and rocks, splashes, bumps and sweat. A bit like a befriended motorcycle journalist recently said, an adventure is when the ride becomes slightly uncomfortable. So, for both of them, the ride is only an adventure when it pushes you, and there's no importance whether you're in the open terrain, blasting through thick forest, or anywhere else in the world. Their aim is the next stop, the next bump, the next corner, the next trail. It's the adrenaline, the risk. Does this mean that any ride on a motorbike for anyone at any time is an adventure? According to Wikipedia, yes, we donated. Adventures are often undertaken to create psychological arousal, or in order to achieve a greater goal, such as the pursuit of knowledge that can only be obtained by such activities. Anyway, let's stop philosophizing and get ready for this adventure. Last year we crossed the Serra da Estrela and mentioned you could be riding here for days. And that's exactly what we've just been doing. And in one day we will leave from here, as the Serra is the starting point of our upcoming trip. And we promise it will be a long trip. In this episode you'll be able to discover our latest idea. It's to create a route that links the most beautiful areas in Europe via great roads. We don't plan to make it a continuous route, as in every next episode, we'll present you on a random chosen part of this route. And in the end, we'll connect all tracks of these episodes, and that final trace will create a trip of a lifetime. It's not an alternative TED, it's our own MD route. Some parts will be completely asphalted, some just trails. But in general, it will be a great mix. And this part just happens to be focused on adventure. We leave Lapa in the early morning. The village is still asleep and we sneak out for what will be one of the toughest days of this trip, but also one of the most beautiful ones. On the program there's asphalt till Loriga, and from there a happy mix with more off-road. The track we're following on the GPS is made up from past rides and wild guesses on a topo map. So after 15 kilometers, we are already faced with the first impossibility. The map says there's a track, reality says no track. In general, we're going steady. The tracks are beautiful, still some are a bit more challenging. After 4 hours riding, we still can see the top of the Serra Estrela. Progress? You can't call this. The view after Silvares, however, is beautiful. The service road of the windmills create an amazing track. And the descent to Partida is the toughest one so far. We mustn't forget we borrowed the bike. Adventure, you said? Slightly uncomfortable. All boxes ticked so far. From Castelbranco, there is an important change in geography. One that will make us smile a little more. The Tejo rivers forms a natural barrier between the mountainous north and the more flat area of Alentejo. This makes the riding a little less challenging, and at the same time it brings back our hunger for adventure. The roads are curvy, the tracks dusty, and at certain moments we even feel like we're riding through the African savannah. Mind you, this is still Portugal, but beautiful without any doubt. It's also very quiet here. The storks can only agree. They too are enjoying the empty villages and the silence of the area. Nothing ever happens here. Life just flows, with from time to time the occasional splash. Day 2 is a different kind of day. It's a day to recover from the slightly more challenging first day. Maybe not in terms of difficulty, but in terms of uncomfortableness. Anyway, the birds are up early, and Alter do Chao is still asleep when we sip our morning coffee. We're all day borderlining with Spain, and the white villages and the local culture could make you think you've already crossed the border. Frontera, Extremos, Redondo, all read silence and history. Ancient fortifications to defend from the Spanish enemy can be found in every village. We're riding along the Albufera de Alqueva, or the Rio Guadiana. It's extremely beautiful here. And we hop from asphalt to track and back to asphalt again. And we're happy to see the spring has been generous with water. All lakes are full to the brim. Wherever you look, there's water. Except for the sheepdog on the side of a dusty trail that has none. We decide to stop to help out. The ride is getting faster again. The downhill from Monsaraz is short, but we are smiling like kids and ride it a few times up and down. The rest of the day, the route just flows, and before we realize we have entered Spain. Aroche, a few kilometers over the border, welcomes us with tiny streets and a very well-hidden hotel. The village is built as a nest on top of a hill, and also here the morning song of 1,000 birds that have made the town their own is loud and continuous. Knowing the day will be hot again, we once more decide to leave with the early light. We're in Cerdo territory. Jabugo, more precise. The free-roaming pigs rule the hills, forests and land. And we ultimately decide to stop trying to get on the tracks and get our revenge another way. Un bocadillo con jamón. We shouldn't, we're animal lovers. But as one of our veggie friends always said, jamón was the last meat to leave her menu. Bellota, ibérico puro. Luckily, the twisty roads through the hilly and forested landscape make up for some things. The incredible shaped trees look like veins connecting the earth and the sky, sucking the oxygen into the ground. These cork oaks do not only deliver the base for the delicious bellota ham, but are also used for the corks on the bottles of wine. We're passing a team checking the state of the advancement of the cork and get a brief lesson in the how and when the cork is harvested. It's a slow job. They only cover several kilometers per day. There's a lot of dust and the air is hot and dry. As any motorcyclist, we know we need to stay hydrated. Especially for this purpose, we bought some camelbacks. After several days, however, I'm still disgusted by the plastic taste of the water. I take drastic measures. So if anyone has an advice of how to get rid of that horrible taste, you will be largely rewarded. From here we move fast. Campofrio, Aracena, Rio Tinto. As always, we stop to overlook the mine pit. I've been here many times, but my travel buddy looks with open eyes. The amount of dump trucks riding up and down is incredible. Google tells us there's electric ones too. Good for the environment. Still, not convinced of the green power compensation for the hole they are digging, we must admit we love the colors here. We look in admiration at what's created by the mining. Like a painting it is. Beautiful. Our day ends in the soft afternoon light around Carmona. We take advantage of it to find a way through the millions of sunflowers on the flats below the city. It's an incredible view and there's plenty of tracks linking with each other across the fields of flowers. There's also a million of mosquitoes, and the moment the sun plunges into the dust haze is a sign for us to head to the hotel. The Parador we're staying at offers stunning views over the flat fields outside Carmona, and from the hotel is just a short stroll into this surprisingly nice Andalusian city. Today is a special day. We're passing close to Malaga, and its surroundings are not exactly places we like to hang out. But we know our way around here, and there's one track in particular we consider a highlight. It's one of the best kept secrets of this area. We assure you, it's one of these overlooked by thousands. A little gem. And also today there's nobody and we enjoy the silence and the solitude up here. The tracks are rocky, but not challenging. They won't kill you. But a suicidal sheep may do. Our trip is nearing its end. We're olive tree bound for the first part of the day. Eastwards we ride to the Sierra Nevada through some of Andalusia's nicest tracks with amazing views towards the majestic Mulhacén. We don't climb the mountain, instead we meander handily between busy Granada and the mountaintop. Once over the Rio Janeiro, direction Quintanar, the desolate feeling we like so much returns. Let's enjoy the fast-paced curves past the Quintado Dam. The white trails and more dust. The Mediterranean pines. The unnamed road out La Pezza past a little tunnel bringing you to Benalúa. From here we ride hidden tracks through almond fields all the way to the back door of the Guadix racetrack. We're approaching the apotheosis of this trip, but we decide to make a detour. So we're on the highway to Vélez Rubio, a torture for our nobbies. Once back on track, we enjoy a last blast through the white chalk surrounding Orce. We take a moment at a late lunch above Negratin, and from here, we've got some final jewels to ride. Some may say we weren't allowed to cross this bridge, but the Via Pecuaria, a little higher up, is also a no-go. So we choose the least of sins to reach the amazing landscapes south of the Gorafe Desert. You will be amazed what the flats here have to offer. Just before the desert, the clouds pack together and a heavy shower is our part. Rain and Gorafe absolutely don't match. So once more we improvise a detour to allow time for the rain to get absorbed into the desert. And for us to get the best from the canyon. Adventure, we said. While at this stage the uncomfortable has reached the limit for me, the true die-hard will of course choose the stars as a cover. The next morning we're up with the sun. Before heading back home we take a seat to enjoy the view of the desert. Happy with our achievements, we overthink this trip and our thoughts take us back to the intro. And we think by ourselves, so was this an adventure? Yes, we can say it was. But we decide to add some things to our definition of adventure. Adventure is a motorcycle trip that takes you to wonderful places. Often not in the most comfortable way. But always remember, on a clear day, you can see forever.